Hey friend, welcome to the Self-Care Isn't Selfish podcast. I'm your host, Emily Nichols. I'm a self-care coach who is on a mission to help you get your body and mind fit through simple and sustainable self-care habits. And I get it. I'm a busy working boy mom who used to feel like a hot mess all the time until I found a solution, my own self-care routine. And friend, I want that for you too. Join us each week to hear attainable self-care tips for all areas of your life from my amazing guests or Quickie episodes with me, sharing my own experiences and professional wellness knowledge. After each episode, you'll leave with an action plan to start making self-care a priority in your life and get your body and mind fit. So grab a cup of coffee, glass of wine, or your favorite sparkling water, and let's do this. You're listening to episode 73 of the Self-Care Isn't Selfish podcast. Hey friend, welcome back to the show. I am talking about a topic today that has been on the forefront of my mind as we're heading into December. And as a mom, I feel like I'm trying to do all the things to give my family the most magical holiday season and trying to do things for my own self-care as well. And I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed, but I'm also having the creeping feelings of mom guilt creeping back into my life. And this is something I hear about a lot over in my Facebook community. When someone joins, they answer a couple of questions, and the biggest challenge is usually time or feeling guilty for taking the time to do some type of self-care activity or just take some time for themselves. And I wanted to give you just 5 tips to think about when it comes to mom guilt to help us overcome this. Because as I've mentioned on the show many times, putting your oxygen mask on first is what my whole self-care philosophy is. You're filling your cup up. You're able to breathe. That way you're able to help those around you. But mom guilt is real. And I've had this question so many times. How do you overcome mom guilt, Emily? So I wanted to share a little bit more about my experience with you. If you want to come over to my free Facebook community, there is a link in the show notes. I'd love to have you over there. We post a worksheet every Thursday to give you a little bit more of an action plan in regards to whatever the topic was for this podcast that week to start taking action in regards to your self-care. So let's get into these 5 tips I have for you today to overcome mom guilt. Number 1, you need to let go of the things you can't control and maybe just embrace it a little. So let me give you a couple of examples. So maybe you feel really guilty for going to work every day. I know I have felt that numerous times in numerous stages of my kids' lives, especially when they were little babies and they'd cry and not want you to leave, and you'd be so sad and feel so guilty when you left them. But that might be something you can't control. You need to work for a living to provide for your kids. Or maybe you just really love your job and love going to your job every day. That's okay. So you need to learn to embrace that over time, okay? And know that your kids are going to be okay too. Another way to think about it and kind of embracing it a little bit is maybe you feel guilty for giving your kids too much screen time. I know I have felt like that. I've handed the phone over to my kid and I'm like, oh my gosh, how long have they been on my phone? I feel so bad. What are they even watching? What are they doing? Maybe you just needed some time to yourself and they needed to entertain themselves for a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to be real. You just need to embrace that for a little bit. Not that I'm saying you should let your kid be on your phone or a tablet all day long. Necessarily not the case. Definitely not the case. But sometimes there is a time and place where you might need a little break and technology time comes into play. And that's okay. Just embrace it a little. Number 2, stop comparing yourself to other moms. This comes up so many times on the podcast, but I feel like it's really worth repeating over and over again, especially with social media. You see people doing all of these magical experiences with their kids over the holidays, and their kids just look so beautiful in those family pictures, and you know how family pictures go. I know ours was kind of crazy this year, having the new puppy, Dexter. He ended up taking a number 2 while we were taking pictures and just ran all over the place, and then my youngest was throwing sticks. Oh, it was a mess. And we're just smiling, gritting through our teeth like, kids, smile and hold still. So that's not reality a lot of times, what you see other moms doing. And the way some people parent their kids or live their lives isn't necessarily going to be the best choice for you and your family right now. So just stop comparing yourself to others and know that you're doing the best job for you and your family. Number 3, focus on your accomplishments instead of mistakes. Okay? This can be applied to a lot of different areas, but say you yell at your kids. You get really impatient and you just lose it. I know we've all been there. And immediately after, you feel so bad and you feel so bad for yelling at them. And you see their little faces and you just feel so guilty. Forgive yourself. We all make mistakes. We all lose our cool. Our kids lose their cool sometimes too. And we always forgive them, right? Absolutely. So focus on your accomplishments. What's going right? Maybe you were like, I put my phone down and I just had an hour of direct concentration on my kids and we played a game or did a puzzle together or just cuddled on the couch and watched a Christmas movie. Those can be small little accomplishments you can count on during the day. So mistakes are going to happen and that's okay, but focus on those accomplishments and forgive yourself when you do make those mistakes. Number 4, show your child how hard you work. I know there's a lot of working moms that listen to the show. I'm a working mom myself. I actually do love working. I do have some mom guilt sometimes, like we've already talked about though. But you are setting the example for your kids. They are watching. They watch and see everything, even when you think they aren't noticing. They're noticing. You are showing them how hard you are working to not only working at your job, but how hard you're doing the dishes, you're doing the homework, you're getting all the things done, you're praising your kids. You're showing them the value of hard work and you're showing them how much you love them by being able to take care of them in that way. Okay, so lose the mom guilt because those kids are watching you. So if you're feeling guilty about working, that's okay. Think about it in the matter that you are setting them a good example for being a hardworking person. And if you're a stay-at-home mom, girl, I know you're working hard too. You're working so hard. So remember, your kids are seeing you work hard at home as well because I know that's a really hard job as well. And number 5, my most favorite one, I knew, I was going to say this. Number 5 to overcome mom guilt is to practice more self-care. So explain to yourself and your partner why it's important. Why is it important to put your oxygen mask on first? Why is it so important to fill your cup up? Why? It's so you don't lose your cool. It's so you can lose the mom guilt. You are feeling your absolute best, so you have more patience with your kids. You don't care what everyone else is doing. Your blinders are on and you're just focused on what is best for your family. This habit comes over time where you lose the mom guilt, but it can be done. And I really, truly believe in my heart that it can start with taking care of yourself first, because when you feel your best, you're able to show up better for your kids in those little moments of time where that mom guilt creeps in. And it's still going to creep in, but you're not going to get overconsumed by it. Okay? Mom guilt is never going to go away. It's just not. It's our human nature to be nurturing to everyone around us, especially our children and our partners. But doing these small little tips can help you get out of that funk of mom guilt and really put yourself first. Because as the show says, self-care isn't selfish and mom guilt's going to happen, but we just don't want you to get consumed by it. Okay, so I also wanted to bring this up because I have a new Whole30 course launching that I am so excited about. Gang, I'm going to drop a bonus episode this Wednesday explaining a little bit more about it in a free webinar I have coming up where you can learn a little bit more about if the Whole30 is a good choice for you, my own Whole30 transformation story, and what this new course is all about. I'm so excited to share this with you. But going back to mom guilt, working with numerous clients over the past few years as being a Whole30 coach and personal trainer or group fitness instructor, one thing I hear from women a lot of times is when it comes to like health and nutrition, they feel guilty about spending money on themselves. Gang, the best investment you could ever make is on yourself. Ever. I guarantee you. So, or sometimes moms feel guilty because in a couple of different ways, they're creating meals that maybe their kids don't like. Maybe you're doing a Whole30 or incorporating some healthier food into your lifestyle. Maybe just eating more vegetables, starting simple, and your kids are freaking out and not wanting to eat it. And you're like, you can't leave the dinner table without eating that, And then you find yourself making like 3 other dinners for everyone. You got to stop doing that. We talked about that last week on our episode with Autumn because she knows she has 5 boys. I mean, come on, she knows what's up. But sometimes kids don't want to eat what you want and you feel bad about, not providing them the food that they like. That's another area of mom guilt that comes into play, or even just taking the time to move your body or go see your friends. That's where mom guilt can come in as well. But these are all habits you can build up over time, and some of the things that we're going to be digging in deeper into this Whole30 course if you're looking to change your life through Whole30, but also thinking about habits of self-care in other areas of your life. Because although the Whole30 does start with food, it's about so much more. So click the link in my show notes. You can sign up for my newsletter. They're going to be the first to find out all the details about my new Whole30 Anytime course. And like I said, I'll drop a bonus episode this Wednesday to share more about my Whole30 Anytime course and my free webinar where we're going to be digging in a little bit deeper into what the Whole30 is and how it can help change your life as well, and if it's a good fit for you or not. So gang, thank you again for listening. Mom guilt is real. I totally get it. I feel it lots of times, but I've learned to overcome it and not get stuck there, and I want you to feel the same way. So if you're loving what you're hearing, please leave a rating and review here in iTunes, and go give me a follow over on Instagram at EmilyNichols22. We'll be sharing some more behind the scenes content over there, and I can't wait to connect with you there. So again, gang, thanks again for hanging out. I'm sending you all lots of love, and I'll catch you on the next episode. See you soon.